So we're going to start with our third target in coordinate plane, your last target. I'm going to be running through this pretty fast, so pause it when you need to. There's a lot of review on the front end of this, so you'll need to pause the notes after we get done with the warm-up, and then go ahead and do the level 2 practice. It's a bird, it's a plane, it's a polygon on a plane. Once again, they're trying to be cute. So we're actually going to be plotting points and drawing different shapes on the coordinate plane and then finding the area and the perimeter. So we're warming up here by drawing a rectangle that's not a square. Remember, the square, all sides are the same. That's what that little hash mark means. It is also considered a rectangle. But a rectangle, what makes it a rectangle is this side's the same as this side in length. This side is the same as this side in length. And there are 4 right corners. Draw a rhombus that is also a rectangle. Excuse me. A rhombus is also a rectangle. Well, it has to be that. It has to be the same thing. This is also considered a rhombus because of the definition. Draw a trapezoid that's not a parallelogram. Trapezoids have one pair of parallel sides. A parallelogram has 2 pairs. Okay, so when they say not a parallelogram, then this side and this side has to be not parallel. Okay, rhombus is very similar. Now to the next step, we're going to be finding the area and the perimeter. Our first shape is indeed a square. All the sides are the same. So to find the area of a square or a rectangle, remember we take the base times the height or the length times the width. So that's going to be 9 times 9, which is 81 centimeters squared. Perimeter is when you add up the lengths of the sides. So it's like going the distance around the square. So 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9. You can also think that as 9 times 4 because there's 4 sides. That's just centimeters. We didn't multiply the lengths together, so we did not multiply centimeters together. So we better label this. This is the area. This is the perimeter. Okay, area here, same thing. We're going to take 3 times 10, which is 30 feet squared. Perimeter, we have to add them up. So 3 plus 3. 10 plus 10. So we can see that's going to be 26 feet. That's the perimeter. This is the area. You try the next one by yourself. Go ahead and pause the video. Try the next one. Let me check it. And I'm going to go ahead and move on to triangles. Area of a triangle equals the base times the height. And we cut it in half because each one of these, okay, long time ago I did this. I took a rectangle and I cut it in half and made 2 exactly the same size triangles. So when I multiply 8 times 8, I get the area of the square. In order to get the area of just one of those triangles, we have to cut it in half. Whoops. So 8 times 8 is 64. Divided by 2 is 32 yards squared. Okay. 6 times 5, remember this is the height or the altitude. Okay, I want you to pay attention because if you know the height of this, you're going to need that for the perimeter. That's why I didn't have you find the perimeter on here, is I didn't give you these heights, these lengths. That's not what you need for area. You need to know how tall it is. Those slanty sides are going to be longer. 6 times 5 divided by 2. Now, some of you guys, when we were doing this, I kind of taught you, if one of these numbers is even, I can go ahead and cut it in half before I multiply. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. 3 times 5 is 15 feet squared. Just makes it a little easier. Last one, we have parallelograms. Parallelograms are just like rectangles, but they're also like triangles because we have to know the height. So to find the area, we just take the 4 times the 6, the height times the width. Okay, or we would call this a base. So the area of this would be 24 feet squared. Now I said perimeter, but guess what? I don't have side links in here. So the thing that I do know about a parallelogram is that this is going to be 6 too. So let's just say that these side links are 5. Okay, so that's going to be 6 plus 6 plus the 2 5s. Okay, 6 plus 6 is 12, 5 plus 5 is 10, so that's going to be 22 feet. Okay, you just find the area of this. Okay, so pause the video, find the area, raise your hand, let me check in. Then go ahead and do the level 2 practice because it's all about finding the area of shapes. Good luck. I'm going to keep moving to get to the target 3. First, we have to know what our shapes are. And so remember, I told you a few weeks ago that whoever named the coordinate plane, he must have had a name Cartesian or something. This is like the fancy name. Okay, it's the same thing that you've been dealing with the X and Y. It's just a name that we don't hear used all the time. It enables mathematicians to use coordinates to analyze geometric figures. So sometimes we look at them on here just to get an idea about them. Graph the points on the coordinate plane and connect the points to form a polygon. So we can see that 1, -2 is right here. -5, -2 is right here. 1, +3 is here. And -5, -3 is here. So they've plotted the points for us. This is a great way to kind of check and make sure that you know what you're doing. Determine the perimeter of the polygon. Well, I can do what we just learned, and I see that these two are the same. So I'm going to think about the absolute value of these two numbers and the distance that there would be between them. Okay, so I know that if my y is both -2, then that tells me the distance here is 6. So this is going to be 6. Or you can just go in here and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the height is 5. So the perimeter is going to be 6 plus 6 plus 5 plus 5. So that's 12 plus 10, which equals 22. We don't have a measurement, so I'm going to call it units. Okay, how would you find the area? 6 times 5, 30 units squared. And you're already to the level 3. Let's see what's next. Oh, I skipped ahead, didn't I? Areas on that one. Well, you can do it there, or you can just keep rolling. Next one. Here's where we have to plot the points. -2, +3. Remember, the x is the left and right. The y is the up and down. 3, -2, -2, -3, 3, +2. Now, I'm going to connect these. I'm going to try to go straight. See that one? Oh, see, can't do it. There we go. And then this is straight up and down. And then this is kind of slanty and this is kind of slanty. So I'm getting like a trapezoid feel here. Okay. So it kind of looks like this, only it's turned on its side. Okay. So what polygon? Trapezoid. Sometimes you're going to have to turn your paper around, to kind of get a feel for what it looks like. Okay, here we have a trapezoid. Oops, that's not a trapezoid. Trapezoid is, we take the base times the height divided by 2. No. Oh my goodness, that's a triangle. Base 1 plus base 2. Okay. Times the height, all divided by 2. Okay, now on the state assessments, you can use a formula sheet, but we need to know what this means. If I were to turn this on its side, it would be sitting on this. So this is one of the bases. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This over here is the second base, or the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, So that equals base 2. This equals base 1. The height, the last thing that we need to find, is how tall is it? So I can literally just count straight across there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equals the h. So we're going to plug in those numbers. Base 1 was 6. Base 2 is 4. We got to add that first, then multiply it times the height, and then cut it in half. 6 plus 4 is 10. 10 times 5 is 50 divided by 2 equals 25. We don't know the measurements, units squared. That's how you find the area. Okay. Here's another one. Let's try this one. -2, 5. Oh, let's plot these. -2, 5. 3, -3. -2, -3. 5, 2. This looks a little weird, doesn't it? That's straight. This is straight. That's not straight. So what polygon is formed? Ooh, that's a tough one. It's not really anything. Okay, so the only thing that we can call it is a quadrilateral. Now, because quad means 4 sides. Okay, that's all we can say. The rest of it doesn't make any sense. Determine the area. Okay, well, in order to find the area of this, what we really have to do is cut this into a triangle. Cut this into another triangle. Excuse me. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in here. The area of this square is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 25. Okay, I'm going to change colors here. I'm going to find the area of this triangle right here. So we know the height is 5 because that's the side of the square. This is 2. So that's 5 times 2 divided by 2. So 10 divided by 2 is 5. Remember, I divided by 2 because it's a triangle. So this is 5. Let's check out this last triangle. It's got a base of 1, 2, 3. Its height is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 3 times 7 divided by 2 because it's a triangle. That's 21 divided by 2. Oh no, that's going to be odd, but I know from experience that's 10 and a half. I'll let you guys use a calculator. When you add this up, 40.5 units squared. Okay, now the next one is going to have you complete the polygon. So I'm going to have you kind of work on this and see if you can go through parts of this by yourself. This video to start with is long enough. You can probably even move on to some of the practice for the level 3. Good luck.